Hello and welcome to this 12th episode of the Z8 podcast. I'm your host, Zane Miller, here with my co-host, Reed Miller, and Elliot, better known as GHB Sportsnet on YouTube. So,
Hello.
How's it going,
I'm doing,
guys?
doing great, and of course, today we're gonna, continue, go with more, like, in-depth discussion with the Stanley Cup Finals, that just concluded a couple days ago, so, of course, as you all know, but just, like, quick recap, so, of course, the Blues beat the Bruins in 7 games, so, the first game, the Bruins won 4-2, followed by Game 2, where the Blues won 3-2 in overtime. Yep, then the Bruins won 7-2 in Game 3, then St. Louis took games 4 and 5, 4-2 and 2-1 respectively. Then Game 6, Bruins won it 5-1, but of course the Blues came back to win it in Game 7, 4-1. So we'll start with Elliot. So Elliot, just what were your thoughts on the series?
Oh, it was a great series. I mean, any series in the playoffs that goes to 7 is generally a tightly matched series in terms of the skill level of both teams. Clearly, both teams were very well matched skill-wise. I think, to be completely honest, the Bruins, at least in some regards, were a little bit of a better team. But to see the Blues really come out on top, I mean, both teams were heavily injured. I know the Bruins were missing some key pieces, but just to see the Blues come out on top of that and really just have the character to come out in a Game 7 in Boston was just incredible.
Oh yeah, and we'll start with that. Yeah, mom. So I'll call her up. Yeah, mom. Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Talk to my mom by her first name. But mom, what do you think about the series?
Well, I agree with Elliot that the skill level of both teams were, of course, very apparent. Definitely going to 7 games really shows that, you have your good days and you have your bad days, but over the series, the better team is going to come out on top. Hopefully, as long as, you don't have any officiating kind of things, which, I think you see that in a game to game kind of thing. But over 7 games, that's going to even out also. Calls are going to go for you or against you. So hopefully that does mean that the better team does, come out on top eventually. I think that's what the whole, the series, is supposed to is designed to do. So I think that definitely going to 7 games, yep, you're gonna, it was tough, and it means that both contestants were evenly matched, and that's really what you want to see. You don't want to see a blowout for the ultimate, goal for that sport. In this case, the Stanley Cup. So it was very exciting to watch. As a non-regular spectator, it was great.
Oh I really enjoyed it too. Like, it's definitely just really yeah, just feel lucky to be able to see a series like that because the most recent one was in 2011. That was before I started watching hockey. So I just thought it was really cool experience.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, this was probably one of the most competitive Stanley Cup Finals we've had in the last maybe close to 10 years now. I mean, I know Vancouver, Boston back in 2011 was also went to Game 7, but Stanley Cup Finals don't typically go to Game 7, so I think we were really treated to a special one here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but let's see. Oh, did you get a chance to watch any of the minor league games or minor league series?
I did not. I did. No, I'm actually wrong. I did catch a few games of the Calder
Oh,
Cup
nice.
Finals between Charlotte and is it Chicago they're playing? Yeah, I was able to catch a few games of that on NHL Network, but I haven't been following any of them particularly closely. I'm just so amped up about the Blues since they're my second favorite team to the Flyers,
Oh yeah.
and I was all hands on deck for that.
Oh yeah, I also saw you actually traveled to St. Louis, yeah, to watch the games, kind of in person, with I think you didn't you go to like a bar or something. I think I remember from the video.
Actually, that's an interesting story. I didn't get the chance to go to St. Louis, although my dad and I were talking about maybe trying to go to one of the Stanley Cup final
Oh,
games
okay.
there. Unfortunately, tickets were way too
Oh yeah,
expensive. I think, when we were looking at Game 6 tickets, it was like starting at 2,500 a pop for like the highest seats in the nosebleeds. So that wasn't really, and that's not even taking the plane or hotel or whatever else into account. So that was just way too much.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know how much you know about the story behind Gloria. Um, the song that the Blues really got behind, it was their win song in the locker room, and then as the team started to really build their success, the team itself, on the business end of things, they started using Gloria as their win song in the stadium. So they would play it over the stadium speakers after a win. That all started in Philadelphia, which is just a really happy coincidence for me since I live in the area. It was very easy to get to this. Some people refer to it as the Gloria Bar. The official name is the Jacks NYB, which stands for New
Oh,
Year's
okay.
Brigade. I'm not sure how familiar you two are with the Mummers Parade.
Not
It's
no.
Not at all.
it's a local tradition in Philly. I think it's New Year's Day every year, and so there's these mummer clubs all over the city, and they'll participate in this annual parade. And it just so happens that the Jacks New Year's Brigade won this year's contest. So they're celebrating their championship. It's early January. The St. Louis Blues are in town to play the Philadelphia Flyers, and a couple of the players on the team are looking for something to do the night before the game. So they have a connection. His last name is Flowers. I'm forgetting his first name right now, but he's a jeweler in Philadelphia and has a lot of great connections with NHL players, and he has a connection with some of the players on the Blues. And he's also friends with somebody who's a member of this Mummers Club. So he says, "Hey, I got a great spot for you guys. It's this private club. Go have a fun time." So they go there, and they're watching the Eagles and the Chicago Bears in I guess it was a wild card game. And every TV timeout, the guys are having a great time, and they say, "Play Gloria," and they play Gloria every TV timeout. And the players on the Blues think it's the funniest thing ever. It's this really catchy song. They're loving every minute of it. And it was actually the theme song of since this Mummers Club won the championship, it was their victory song. So the Blues said, "You know what?" Or not the Blues as a whole, but the players there said, "You know what? If we win tomorrow in Philadelphia, let's play that song in the locker room." And lo and behold, it happened to be Jordan Binnington's first NHL start, and he got a shutout. So they come in the locker room, they play Gloria, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So when I found out they were having watch parties there for the games, I decided to attend 3 of the Stanley Cup games. So sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
cut
no,
you
you're
off.
good. I was gonna say, it's really cool. Like, it's always really cool to like hear about like the origin stories of like why teams pick like the songs they do after, not just after wins, but also like for goals and things like that too. So, I like hearing like those kind of backstories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's great. It adds a little more seasoning to the story, makes it more interesting, the whole thing
Oh
now.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, but let's see. Oh yeah. Another thing I also wanted to bring up was just the resiliency of the Blues. Because like I said, they just had 2 real kind of blowout losses, but they didn't they didn't let it get them down too much. They just kept fighting. That was like even in the even earlier in the series they lost against they lost a game against San Jose on a really controversial non-call and hand pass. Yeah, but they didn't. Yeah, that didn't stop them either. They didn't get down at all. They just they just kept going, and definitely I think they definitely deserve to win the championship.
Yeah, speaking of that hand pass, tremendous job, by the way, by their coach. I'm certain they're taking the interim label off of his title. Tremendous job by him, and really after that game where they lost on the hand pass, he went into the locker room after the game and basically told them, all right, like, get it out now. Get out your frustration now, because we're not talking about it after this. We're moving on. It's the next game. I don't want to hear about it. And the team totally embodied that mindset, and they said, you know what, that's absolutely right. We can't get worked up over a call by the officials. We got to move on and try to win the next game, and that's exactly what they did.
Yep, because this, one time, the call's going to go against you. Next time the call can go for you, and you benefit from a bad call. So if you get bogged down on something that you have no control over, that's not a good mindset. So the coach was great in saying that. It sucks. Move on. Okay, you can't do anything about it. Leave it there. Whine
Absolutely.
And complain and move on. That's great.
Yeah, it's also interesting to mention how much of a Philadelphia connection this whole thing really has, between Craig Berube being the former Flyers coach and also for many years a former Flyers player, Braden Shen being traded to the Blues a couple of years ago by the Flyers. I think there's somebody else as well. Not ringing a bell right now. I think there was another Philly connection on the team though, but definitely those two are big.
Yeah, but and I'm also definitely hoping that the Flyers can win a Stanley Cup soon enough too.
Yeah, I've been having this conversation with a lot of people. If the Flyers don't win the Cup within the next, I guess it would be 11 seasons, then they will be off of the Stanley Cup for however long it is after that.
Yeah.
Because there's 5 bands on the cup at any given time, and when they fill up a band, they remove the top one and then slide the rest up. So the Flyers currently reside on the top band of the cup, with their 1974 and 1975 cup victories, and right now, since the Blues won, and then there's enough room for 12 teams on each band. So the Capitals were number 1 on the newest band, and the Blues will be number 2. So they'll have 10 more seasons, and I guess there's breathing room with an 11th, because I was looking at video earlier, and when the Capitals won the Cup last season, they still had the lowest band. It wasn't like a blank band. It had all of those teams on it that won before the Capitals. So 11 years or they're off the Cup.
Well, the Blue Jackets aren't on the Cup at all, so
Yeah, that's true.
So it could be worse. They at least have appeared on the Cup.
Right.
They have had the Cup. They have taken the Cup home. Blue Jackets, not so much.
Right. And, the Blue Jackets are still a young franchise in the grand scheme of things. So
That's true. True.
They're certainly heading in the right direction. I really like what I'm seeing there. It sounds like ownership is really taking the reins here, and they want the team to continue to drive towards the success, or rather to be more successful than they were last year. And last year, props to them, props to John Tortorella for a tremendous season and the best season in Blue Jackets history.
True. They did make the playoffs. Nobody expected that, so.
Right. And then they swept the Lightning, which is even crazier.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, but it was that also reminds me, that if they didn't win that one game against Montreal late in the season, they wouldn't have wouldn't have made the playoffs at all. So
Right. And that's all it takes. You just gotta squeak your way in, and sometimes you end up winning the Stanley Cup. Like I know back in 2012, I think it was either 12 or 14. The Kings came in as the eighth team,
Oh
or the
yeah,
eighth
those
seed in the
2012.
Western Conference. Yeah, I mean, all it takes is getting in. If your team's hot at the right time, you just need to be in the tournament to win.
True.
And the Flyers in 2010, when they made it to the Cup Finals, they didn't qualify for the playoffs until the final game of the regular season, and it took a shootout. It took a shootout between them and the New York Rangers. Whoever won that game was going to the playoffs.
Oh
So,
yeah. I think I remember. I remember hearing about that.
and the conference finals in the East that year was 7 versus the 8 seed. So Flyers were 7 and the Canadians were 8. It's a matter of getting in sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else to anything else to bring up. But I think covered most of it pretty well. Yeah, but not anything else you guys want to bring up?
Nope, I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah,
how about you, Elliot?
Covered. Unless you had anything else you wanted to go over, I think I'm good on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that sounds good. So, I just want to thank everybody for listening to this special edition of the Z8 podcast. The first time that we've had 3 people on, so I thought it would be like cool, cool experiment, and I think it worked out pretty well. So, I'll
that's
probably
awesome.
do
Thanks for having me
it.
on.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear if there's like really bad thunderstorm. Where we live. So,
Yeah, stay safe out there.
oh no, we will.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but I just want to say thank you all for listening. We'll catch you next time.